We are on the Paul Christ watch tonight. The latest on reports of the former UW assistant coach is back in the Badger State.
And a change is coming to a government building that could make people safer after several News 3 investigations.
And it's an ugly welcome back. More on the mumps and what to do to avoid it.
Major health concerns tonight over a disease once thought to be, for the most part, eradicated in the U.S.
It is back. The mumps sidelining at least a dozen players in the National Hockey League. It hit the UW campus earlier this year, and Dave Delosier is on the health watch with more on why mumps cases may be increasing, Dave.
Eric and Michelle, first a bit of context. When the mumps vaccine was created in 1967, it all but wiped the disease out. Cases dropped by 99%. With the outbreaks now occurring on college campuses and the National Hockey League, it begs the question, why?
Malkin down the wing. Malkin sets it up now. Crosby, he scores!
On the ice, the two-time league MVP, Sidney Crosby, is hard to stop. What opposing teams struggle to do, though, the mumps accomplished. Diagnosed with the disease, Crosby has been sidelined for a week. It came as a surprise given Crosby had been given the mumps vaccine as a child and then received a booster shot before the Sochi Olympics.
It came about as a bit of a surprise to us because every indication was that he was well protected against the disease.
Crosby shoots, he scores!
Crosby is far from alone. This season, at least a dozen players from 5 different NHL teams have been diagnosed with the mumps. Because the mumps is transmitted through saliva, it puts hockey players at risk.
And particularly one of the things I think is involved here many times is actually sharing of saliva directly in some way. Through kissing or sharing water bottles, or possibly in the case of hockey players, if I were to speculate, exposure to mouth guards and other things like this.
Craig Roberts is an epidemiologist at the University of Wisconsin Health Services. He says you don't have to look far to find a resurgence of mumps.
We saw 25 students last spring who had mumps. That was the largest number we've seen in many, many years. We had previously had a large outbreak in 2006, and so did the rest of the Midwest.
Statewide this year, there have been 56 confirmed cases of the mumps, 35 of which were in Dane County. Experts believe the vaccine's effectiveness changes with time.
So the bigger problem with the mumps vaccine is probably people were protected for most of their childhood, but as they get into adolescence and young adulthood, their protection wears off.
Now late this afternoon, one more NHL player tested positive for the mumps. The Pittsburgh Penguins have confirmed that winger Bo Bennett has contracted the disease. And Eric and Michelle, of particular concern is that Bennett was one of several players last week that visited children at the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh.
Oh my gosh, all right, something of course we're going to keep following. Big story tonight. Thanks, Dave.